Hi, my name is Allison. I'm from the White Plains Mayor's Youth Council, and I'm in 12th grade at White Plains High School, and I'm honoring Nancy Wallace. So Nancy Wallace was elected to the Common Council December 1981. She and her husband, Bruce, lived in White Plains for 53 years before relocating to Nancy's hometown in Marblehead, Mass. Councilman Wallace was a graduate of Smith College. Then she attended graduate school at Union Theological Seminary in New York. She and her husband Bruce settled in White Plains in 1959, where they raised their three children, David, Gail, and Lane. Nancy was very active in civil affairs in White Plains. She was the president of the Fisher Hill Neighborhood Association and a member of the Planning Commission. As Councilwoman Wallace negotiated the city's first cable TV contract was instrumental in passing its first housing laws. In 1983, she became the executive director of Bronx River Restoration Project Institute. And a little quote is, "Little girls with dreams become women with visions." Thank you.
Next up, we have Jaden.
Hi, my name is Jaden Person. I am in the 7th grade and I attend Highlands Middle School. I am a part of Great Potential. We'll be reading about the Honorable Joyce Gordon. Honorable Joyce Gordon was a television and radio personality. She died in 1990. She was a voice on television for over 40 years. She did hundreds of promos for news and sports programs. She was the first woman to do network promos, the first woman announcer for a political convention on network television, and was reportedly the first woman appearing as herself on television to wear glasses, and proudly so. She was so successful that the Broadcasting Magazine ran a feature article on her, "The Girl Who Wears Glasses," in May 1960. She appeared in commercials on the Jack Paar Show, Hugh Downs, and The Price is Right. She was often in several shows in a single day when television was live. She even appeared on the cover of TV Guide. She was the first president of the Screen Actors Guild branch. She was born in Des Moines, Iowa on March 25, 1929. She grew up in Chicago and went on to attend the University of Illinois and the University of Wisconsin. Gordon served as a trustee of the Actors Fund for 24 years. She was also active in White Plains and was elected to the Common Council from 1975 to 1984. Gordon was married for more than 50 years to actor Bernard Grant. Thank you.
That's amazing. And please forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong, but next we have Helenith.
My name is Helenith Hurtado.
Let me just interrupt. I just think it's so important that we pause for just a moment. The members, Common Council members that were read in your hearing have passed on. And so the torch has been passed on from that generation to the next. And so we want to just pause for a moment to acknowledge their memory, their service, and their leadership in the city of White Plains. And their names were Common Council member Mary Ann Keenan, Common Council member Nancy Wallace, Common Council member Joyce Gordon, Common Council, and the next one will be Common Council member Pauline Oliver. But we want family members and the honorees to also, after the presentations are made, we want the Common Council members who are live and also the family member of Pauline to give a response. So I just wanted to insert that into the program. Go ahead, Ellen. You may continue.
Okay, great. So next we have Helenith.
My name is Helenith Jurado. I'm in the 11th grade. I attend White Plains High School and I'm also a member of the White Plains Community Youth Court. Councilwoman Pauline Oliva passed away October 2017. Councilwoman Pauline Oliva was elected to the White Plains Common Council in 1997 and served 2 terms on the council, as was council president her 2nd term. Councilwoman Pauline Oliva was married to her husband Patrick for 66 years. They had 3 children, Patricia Lynn, Edmund, and Thomas. Councilwoman Oliva graduated from the White Plains High School and later earned a degree in labor studies from the Empire State College. Pauline worked in government for more than 30 years with the Westchester County Labor Department and the Planning Department. She was active with the Beautification Foundation, White Plains League of Women's Voters, Women's Foundation, Women's Club, White Plains Hospital Center, Axiality, member of the White Plains Democratic Committee, and president of the Battle Hill Neighborhood Association, and she was chair of the Youth Board. Pauline received numerous awards, inducted into the White Plains High School Hall of Fame, received the League of Women's Voters Award, and Rotary Club's Pauline Harris Fellowship Award. Pauline's favorite quote by Margaret Mead was, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, that is the only thing that ever has." Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Priya.
I'm sorry, accepting the award is Lynn. So after each presentation, we'll have the honorees say a few words. So we're going to ask Lynn, who's the daughter of Pauline, to say a few words in response to this recognition.
Just unmuting myself. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Frank, and thank you, Helena. My brother Ed and I want to thank the Youth Bureau in the city for remembering and honoring my mother, Pauline Oliva. She was an outgoing but shy person who didn't like to toot her own horn, feeling that other people, like those being honored tonight, were worthy or more worthy of recognition. She had the opportunity to work with almost all of these great gals, as she always called them, in some capacity to help make White Plains the exciting, caring, and inclusive city it is today. My mom's community service was rooted in her growing up as a child during the Depression, hungry and homeless. She often talked about the government programs of President Roosevelt as helping to reunite and feed her family, as well as saving their home from foreclosure. Because of this background, community service and empathy were characteristics of her work and personal life. She was on the Common Council during a very exciting time when lots of downtown redevelopment was happening, but she worked to make sure that no one was forgotten and that citizens could also benefit by sponsoring legislation that required the inclusion of affordable housing units in these new projects. From being one of the first, if not the first, woman coach of a Little League team in White Plains to her chairing the Youth Bureau Board, she was an advocate for youth programs. If she was with us tonight, she would encourage the amazing young women and men of the Youth Bureau and White Plains to be involved in their community, because everybody's effort is needed, no matter their background or age, to make a healthy and thriving city. And thank you again for remembering Mom.
Thank you. That was lovely. Next, we have Priya.
Hi, my name is Priya Kumar, and I attend White Plains High School. I'm in 10th grade, and I'm a member of the White Plains Youth Corps program. Josephine Falcone started out as a Brownie Scout leader, went on to be president of Battle Hill, PTA at Highlands, and then the White Plains High School. She was president of the Battle Hill Neighborhood Association. In the 80s, she was on the White Plains Board of Education, ran twice, and won the White Plains Common. The council had been all Democrats, and she was endorsed by the paper as the only Republican. Josephine Falcone is the recipient of numerous awards. She once said, "I'm grateful for everything. For young women, don't let anything stand in your way. If you're passionate about something and believe in it, go for it." She once said something at a Board of Ed meeting. She said, and I quote, "I was so busy trying to save programs for my children, I didn't have time for my children, but I still had 4 children and 10 grandchildren. Of course, if I didn't do everything, I would have to stay home and do laundry and housework. What would you rather do?" Married for 60 years until his passing in 2018, Joe Falcone served on the Common Council December 1999 to December 2002. As Angela Davis quotes, "I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept." Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have
Uh,
Adya.
I'm sorry, we're gonna have a response from all of the common council members after they're presented, and we'll have a response from Councilman Josephine Falcone.
Okay.
I don't see her here, Frank.
I saw her earlier.
Okay.
Did I?
All right, we'll come back to, we gotta get Josephine on this.
Okay.
Here she is.
You see her?
Here she is. Yeah, she's muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, okay.
Well, you know, I have two signs in my house, and I thought I would just let you know, because you have a lot of women around here, but one of them is to do a common thing uncommonly well brings success. I must have done a lot of good things because I had a lot of success in my life. The other sign I have is someone gave it to me, a young girl gave it to me, and it said, you might be one person in the world, but to one person, you might be their world. So just remember that and be passionate and believe in what you do, volunteer. There's so many kids out there that need you. Make White Plains a better place to be. I didn't realize that I was supposed to be giving a speech right now. I thought it was going to be later. So whatever it is, go for it.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Thank you for that message. So next we have Adya.
Hi, my name is Adia Tiwari. I'm in the 9th grade. I attend Briarcliff High School and the White Plains Community Youth Corps. My honoree is Honorable Rita Malwood. Honorable Rita Malwood was elected to the Common Council in December 1993. Before that, she and her family moved around a bit: Santa Barbara, California, Macon, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Indianapolis, Indiana, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Houston, Texas. Her service to the community includes being in the White Plains Women Voters, where she served as Voter Service Director and President. She was elected to Council President in December of 1995, 2002, and 2007. Ms. Malwood holds a bachelor's degree from Sarah Lawrence College. She was also Vice President of Malwood Realty, a family-owned business from 1973 to 1981. Council Malwood spent a great deal of her time meeting with residents and civic groups. They all taught her something, which is, and I quote, pitfalls to avoid. She also had a very close relationship with Councilman Robert Greer. In her spare time, Councilwoman Malwood enjoys the New York Jets, the New York Mets, jazz concerts, theater events, and the New York City Ballet. Ms. Malwood's favorite quote is by Michelle Obama: "No country can ever truly flourish if it stifles the potential of its women and deprives itself of the contribution of half of its citizens." Thank you.
Thank you. Rita, would you like to say a word?
Yes, well, first of all, I want to thank all of you for this honor, and also for the beautiful, beautiful flowers that arrived earlier. It's a wonderful springtime cheerful note in the midst of an unpleasant pandemic, to say the least. I especially would like to thank Nicolette Johnson, who helped coordinate this, as well as obviously Mayor Roach, Executive Director of the Youth Board, Frank Williams, and Justin Brash, the Chair of the Youth Board, and all the Youth Board members. And most important of all, the young men and women who make up the membership of the Youth Bureau. And a final shout out to Nadine. I think that as former chair, her work has not gone unnoticed or unappreciated. I was thinking earlier today about this moment, and it made me reflect on how we got to where we are today. Our country started out roughly 250 years ago. And in those days, when our nation began our fight for independence and freedom, women who comprised just over half the population, and in many state and federal legal documents are called part of a minority, that in order for us to achieve legal equality in our American democracy, we had a long road to fight and wage our battle for equality. Yes, our country was founded 250 years ago, but when we finally got our independence, only white men could vote. After a while, men of more diverse backgrounds could vote. And it wasn't until 100 years ago, less than half the time we've been a nation, that women were allowed the right to vote, to decide who should govern us and who should pass legislation for all of us. We were the very last minority group to be allowed to vote and have a say in our government. Women of today are greatly indebted to the women, and yes, the men who helped them in their crusade. We are indebted to them, to those who struggle to help secure our present day rights. We can acknowledge that important legacy by making sure no one's voting rights are diminished in our democracy today or in the future. We can build on their legacy by empowering ourselves through diligent effort and generous help to others in need. As a child of an immigrant who came to America to escape tyranny and bigotry, I feel especially rich in possessing so much good fortune in the land of the free. Although I am only one person and therefore one vote, sometimes merely one vote can make a difference. So I say to each of you, especially the young people here tonight, give yourself credit for every wise and thoughtful decision you make, because you do make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So next we have Sophie.
Hi, my name is Sophie. I'm in White Plains. Hi, my name is Sophie Charlemagne. I am in 9th grade and I attend White Plains High School. I'm a part of the Great Potential program with the White Plains Youth Bureau. Beth Smeda served on White Plains Common Council from 2010 to 2017. While on the Common Council, she cleared the city budget and the management advisory committee, and she was chosen as a council president for 2012 and 2013. Council Smeda co-funded with Joe Ann Kennedy the Northeast Women in Public Finance. They served as co-presidents through 2012. Councilwoman Smeda community activities include president of the League of Women Voters of White Plains, chair of League City Budget Committee, and chair of the City Government Committee. She also served on the White Plains PTA Council as chair of the School Budget and Legislation Committee. Beth received her Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and Public Administration from Augustana College, Rock Island, Illinois, and Master of Public Affairs from the LBJ School of Public Affairs, University of Texas, Austin, Texas. Beth has 3 children, Michael, Christine, and Catherine.
I guess I'll hop in. Can you hear me? Thanks so much, Sophie. And you had some difficult words in there, like my last name in Augustana, and you did perfectly. So thank you very much. But I would just like to say thank you to the Youth Bureau for this recognition. And, you know, one of the first commissioners to reach out to me when I became a councilwoman was Frank Williams, and he invited me over to the Youth Bureau offices to learn about what the Youth Bureau does. And Bhavana was there and many others. And ever since then, I've had an appreciation which grew for what the Youth Bureau does and how important it is to the fabric of our community. So I really appreciate this honor. And I have to say, one of my favorite things about this recognition is this flyer. And seeing these faces of women, especially those who went before me, and many of whom were mentors to me. And, you know, to look at Marianne Keenan and Pauline Oliva's smiling faces here just brought back so many meaningful memories. Marianne Keenan was fearless. She, you know, would research things. You know, I always said what was on her mind, you know, letting the public know what she was thinking. And when I had difficult decisions that I had to make, I have to say that I did channel Marianne Keenan. And I'm like, she would tell it the way she saw it. And I always thought the public deserved to know what I was thinking. And I tried to do that as a councilwoman. Pauline Oliva was always so supportive. And, you know, she'd like to tell the story of when I was following the council meetings for the League of Women Voters. I would sit there at every meeting, and one item came up and they were discussing, which was reducing parking on Mamaroneck Avenue to 15 minutes. At that point, I had 3 little ones. And I got up, I went to the microphone and said, I can't even get my 3 kids out of the car in 15 minutes. So she never forgot that, and they listened and took input. And Joe Falcone, I remember hearing her creative ideas and all the experience she brought to her service. One that I tried to pick up on, I don't know if it has passed, but was having outdoor dining by the restaurants, not the street. I remember you talking about what it's like in Europe. And I'm like, yes, who wants to sit next to, you know, car fumes? So I remember that. And I just thought you came up with some great ideas. And of course, Rita, who first asked me if I would consider running for office. So I admire those who have served with me and come after me. But, you know, thank you so much to the Youth Bureau for bringing back all these great memories and reminding us of whose shoulders that we stand on. And I would just like to tell the young women who are on the call or the Zoom here today, you know, it's so important for women's voices to be heard. We have certain perspectives based on our life experiences. And I think more than ever, women from all fields, whether you're an architect or engineer or in finance, all these skills are needed in our government service. So you are already stepping up. Continue to do stuff. We need you to lead our country forward. Thanks so much.
Thank you. So next we have Julie.
My name is Julie Salvador. I'm in the 11th grade and I attend School of the Holy Child. I am also a member of the White Plains Youth Court. Honorable Milagros Lecuona served on the Common Council from December 2015 to December of 2019. She is originally from the Canary Islands, Spain. She moved to White Plains in 1987. Honorable Lecuona holds a BS in architecture from the University of Madrid, Spain, where she majored in urban planning, and a dual master's degree from Columbia University's School of International and Public Affairs and the School of Architecture, Preservation, and Planning. She's a board member of the White Plains Historic Society and a second lieutenant of the White Plains Volunteer Firefighters, where she's the chair of the Hope Engine Scholarship Committee. Milagros hosts a radio show on WVOX in New Rochelle called Livable Cities. Honorable Licona is an avid conservationist. She co-founded White Plains Eco Neighbors and was chair of the Sustainable White Plains Committee. She's active on many boards and committees in White Plains and throughout the county. As said by Margaret Thatcher, if you want something done, ask a woman. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Julie. And I was reading your last name, Salvador, and I was just wondering if you choose me because I am Milagros, and in Spanish, I mean, in English, Milagros means miracles, and you are the savior. So it's like, I thought it was a good combination. I want to thank Frank Williams and the Youth Bureau as a whole family, because it really works as a family, for putting this beautiful event together. And I agree with Councilwoman Smeida that flyer with all our faces is really, it tells a story. And also the video was so inspiring. I mean, really, when I saw my picture together with Eleanor Roosevelt and Supreme Court Justice Ginsburg and you name it, Michelle Obama, I mean, you name it, I mean, it was like, okay. Following with also Councilwoman Rita Malmuth, which is always very difficult to follow her because it's a voice of wisdom all the time and always saying the right things. When the vote and getting politically involved, this is really so important. I grew up with Franco in Spain, a dictatorship. So forget about voting, forget about having political ideas if you don't follow just what the dictator wanted you to believe and to think. So when he passed away, finally in Spain, the socialism, democratic socialism came in, and the reinstauration of the aristocracy also came together with that. And by that time, we moved to Mexico, so I couldn't vote. So when did I vote for the first time? When we moved to the United States. And I remember that I went and I voted, and I remember crying, and they were telling me, why are you crying? I said, because believe it or not, this is the first time ever in my life that I am voting. And so that really became for me, you know, a very important step in my life. The fact that I had a voice, I had a political voice, I had a vote. And that's, I guess, how I started getting more and more politically involved. In the sense of becoming, let's say, a woman that wanted to do something that was significant in the sense of what women do that they couldn't do before, or somehow I have always in my life been in positions like that frequently. I don't know, it was a part of my rebellious nature or what, but it worked like that. And I thought, well, maybe something that is an image says more than 1,000 words. And I said, let me show, and I hope I can show it, my architecture diploma from Spain, which by the way is huge. I think it's beautiful. And the reason why I'm showing it is because, first of all, the signature, I mean, it's by Juan Carlos, King of Spain. Now this was in 1981. So now Juan Carlos is the father of the actual King of Spain. But the important thing of this diploma is when it reads that I am arquitecto. It has an O. It has an O where it says the word arquitecto. Why? Because the word in Spanish, you have words finished in O for masculinum, word that finish with A for femininum, most of them. And there didn't exist the word arquitecta. in femininum because not many women were architects. So then the Spanish architect for women in the Spanish language in 1981 didn't exist. So I remember, you know, when some people that were talking in Spanish and saying, what profession are you? I'm an arquitecto. And they would say, no, you are not an arquitecto, you are an arquitecta. No, that word didn't exist. It's not that I am not in favor of feminism. By the contrary, I was one of these people in the School of Architecture in Spain that opened the doors for the future women architecture. And so that's the story that I wanted to share with you. And I hope I had so many role models in my life. And if I can be of any role model for the young girls here, the young ladies following us, that will be my big pleasure. And it's my honor also to be honored with my other council members. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing that. So next we have Tiana.
Hi, my name is Tiana Thompson. I am in the 11th grade and I attend White Plains High School. I am also a part of the White Plains Community Youth Court. Victoria Presser was elected to the White Plains Common Council in December 2020. She grew up in Manhattan's Upper West Side. She earned a master's degree in journalism from Columbia University and has been in nonprofit and government public information for over 40 years. She has lived in the Battle Hill section of White Plains for nearly 40 years. Ms. Presser has served as president of her synagogue, Bet Am Shalom, and also is an active member of the Battle Hill Association. Ms. Presser helped found the Friends of the White Plains Youth Bureau and served on its board for 4 years. Ms. Presser has advised the Friends of White Plains Public Schools on rebranding and outreach. Ms. Presser is also an advocate for racial justice and for equality. And from Sheryl Sandberg, she quotes, "In the future, there will be no female leaders. There will just be leaders."
Thank
you very much, Ms. Thompson. That was very kind. I'm so grateful and touched by this honor and want to express my deepest gratitude to Frank Williams and the Youth Bureau for choosing this very special way to mark Women's History Month and make it come alive by connecting it with local White Plains history. To be honored among these extraordinary leaders is a moment to be cherished. I look at that wonderful collage, as Beth did, and see my esteemed colleagues on the council, Nadine Hunt Robinson and Jen Puja, and also several recent members of the council who I have the pleasure to know. But most significantly for me, to see myself in a collage that includes the late Pauline Oliver fills me with joy. I remember voting for Pauline in the 1990s and being so impressed by her strength and grace. Proud, and I was also proud that she was a Battle Hill neighbor. In later years, when I became active in the local political scene, I had the great pleasure of working closely with Pauline and seeing that strength and grace up close. To be in her company tonight is honor indeed. It's almost exactly a year since I lost my fierce, feisty mother, Jean Free, who imbued in me the confidence and conviction that I could do anything I wanted to do. And that would include in high school being on the girls' basketball team. Nobody was going to tell me I couldn't. I was better at field hockey. It's good to be close to the ground in that sport. But thanks to my mom, I found it in me to take on many leadership roles over the years, some of them when a woman was holding those roles for the first time. And she did live to see me elected to the Common Council, and I am grateful for that. But I also hear the voice of my mother drawing on her theatrical experience, admonishing me right now, Victoria, don't hug the microphone. So I'll probably end here. You know, I do want to put in a quote of hers that I would like for you to think about. She would say often, err on the side of generosity. It's a good motto. So I want to thank all of you again, and a special message for the young women in our audience. I am cheering you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was inspiring. Next, we have Madison.
Hi, my name is Madison Robinson. I am in the 8th grade. I attend Immaculate Conception School, and I am a member of White Plains Community Youth Corps program. Honorable Jennifer Puja was elected to the White Plains Common Council December 2020. Council Puja lives in the Woodcrest Heights neighborhood with her husband and their 2 children, Alessia and Nicholas. Ms. Puja is the executive director of the Westchester Putnam Central Labor Body, AFL-CIO, a nonprofit organization representing over 100,000 working families in Westchester and Putnam. She has a passion for giving back, and she forms partnerships with groups to serve those in need. She serves as an advisory board member for the Mount Sinai Selikoff Center Occupational Health. Ms. Puja is an active PTA parent at Post Road School. She has received the Person of the Year Award, Mount Sinai Selikoff Centers for Occupational Health in 2019. Westchester Young Dems Honoree 2017, Westchester Putnam Central Labor Body AFL-CIO, Labor Service Honoree 2016, to name a few. Miss Puja is a summa cum laude graduate of both Iona College and Long Island University. Her favorite quote is, "Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail," by Murray L. Strode. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madison. And thank you to the White Plains Youth Bureau for recognizing the efforts of so many well-deserved honorees tonight. I'm so proud to be a part of this legacy of women from the White Plains Common Council, who we've each in our own right have already done what we can to break a bit of that glass ceiling. To be among these leaders is truly humbling. I am the youngest woman ever elected to the Common Council, and I know that that leap of faith I took was supported by some of the strongest women I know. Women who are my friends, my family, my coworkers, my mentors. Women who showed their strength most to me at times they may have felt weak. Many of those women are actually on this call tonight, and I won't name them all, but the times I've watched them overcome struggles that they faced were times that I actually admired them the most. So from a young age, I watched my mom and my grandmothers navigate situations with grace, with strength, and with poise. My mom also taught my sister and I that it's okay not to be okay sometimes, as long as we stay true to ourselves, and that taking the high road isn't easy, but it's always going to be worth it. In my 20s, I was privileged to work in several fields with strong female role models, up to and including most recently at my labor council. Strong female leaders who stand up for others tactfully and professionally, and who take on challenges that come their way no matter what. So I'm blessed with these women in my life, and I know that with empowered women, we'll always empower more women. So now I look to the next generation of young girls that are determined to rise. The young women we've just heard from introducing all of our honorees, including Madison. I also think about my daughter, my nieces, the young women of White Plains that continue to inspire me and the work that I do. Young girls who, like me, may get a report card with most talkative. Young girls who, like me, will be the only 5th grade girl to join the football team. Young girls who, like me, might challenge the music department and say that drums are an instrument for girls too. Young girls who, like me, will know that standing up for yourself is one thing, but standing up for others is everything. Young girls who, like me, will embrace the fact that no matter your age and without you even knowing, you're inspiring other people to dream a bigger dream. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I remain committed to our city, to our youth, to our incredible Youth Bureau, and to ensuring that we all may be the first at something, but we won't be the last. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautifully said. And thank you for your hard work. Last but not least, we have Anahi.
Hello, my name is Anahi Paulino. I'm in the 10th grade. I attend White Plains High School. I am a member of the White Plains Youth Corps program. I am honored and privileged to participate in the ceremony to help honor these confident, dynamic women who are leaders and community champions. My honoree is Nadine Hunt Robinson. Nadine Hunt Robinson is currently the president of the Common Council. She has served on the Common Council from 2014 until now. She is married to Reverend Dr. Tyrone Robinson. She is mother to Molly. She holds a law degree from Villanova University. She is very active in the community, a member of the Westchester Lynx, White Plains Greenberg NAACP. She is an AKA, former chairman of the Youth Board and current chair of the Recreation Board. She is the First Lady of the First Community Baptist Church in White Plains. As said by Michelle Obama, as women, we must stand up for ourselves. As women, we must stand up for each other. As women, we must stand up for justice for all. Thank you.
So Anaya, we're gonna ask Justin Branch if Justin is here, if he could receive this award in honor of Common Council member Nadine Hunt Robinson.
I am super pleased to have this opportunity to receive this on behalf of my friend and colleague Nadine Hunt Robinson. She has been an inspiring force in her many years on our Common Council, and she too was a chair of the White Plains Youth Bureau and led this terrific organization with distinction and honor. And she is always leading the effort, whether it's for affordable housing in our city council or whether it's for police reform. She's always there standing up and doing great things for our city. And again, particularly supporting our youth. So thank you on behalf of everyone. And I am pleased to accept this on behalf of Nadine Hunt Robinson.
Thank you everyone for tuning in today and joining this Zoom. I just wanted to say that there is no limit to what we women can do. And I just wanted to say that each and every one of you were truly inspiring. Like, I just want to do better just by seeing you guys. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Why don't we give Anaya a big hand of applause? She's graduating White Plains High School. And as I said earlier, she started out as the itty bitty youngster in our after school program and has been engaged in many, many White Plains Youth Bureau programs. And you can see the impact of the Youth Bureau, the school, the community, and all of you, what has been poured into her, and her future is very bright. And we wish her well, as we wish all of these young ladies in their school and in their career, that they would one day too become leaders in our nation. And who knows, just maybe one of them might become governor or president. I wanted just to say something. You know, we look at Women's History Month as something that we celebrate, and we should celebrate it. But Women's History Month is every month, it's every day, it's every hour. There's some woman somewhere in this country who's doing good work to help make a difference in our nation and in the world. So we don't minimize this month. In fact, we step off March going into April, realizing too that April is also Women's History Month. And we celebrate every day knowing that women are making a difference in our community, in our families, as scientists, as engineers, as politicians, as government leaders, as nurses, as doctors. And we thank all of you, all of our sheroes who was honored tonight for their efforts in helping to build a better White Plains Youth Bureau. So I want to also acknowledge some of my staff who made this evening program a success. I want to start with Nicolette Johnson, Amanda Cohen, Connie Jones, Dr. Bamna Pawa, Sheila Foley, Eric Rios, and all of our staff. Again, I thank our mayor, I thank Justin, and I thank all of our leaders for helping to make this evening's program a great success. So thank you. And we're going out into the world to make the world a better place for all humanity. Thank you so very much. We wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Be well and be safe. Congratulations
Good night,
to our
everybody.
heroes and sheroes.
Bye-bye. Thanks so much.
Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.